morning, everybody. I'm Broward County Commissioner Stacy Ritter. This is Coffee with Stacy. Today we've decided once again to take our show on the road. There's a bus here, that's fun. And we are at the Broward County Transportation Headquarters?
Yeah, Copeland's Road. Yep.
Copeland's Road. If you take the turnpike at any time during the day, which I do on my way to and from the government center, you'll actually see this facility on the east side of the turnpike on Copeland's Road. This is where I guess all the buses come at the end of the day.
Most of the buses, and we also have another facility in the south. Most of our buses come here.
This is a location shoot for us. We've done a couple of them, and we're going to talk about Broward County Transportation in general, and this big monster bus here that I'm standing next to, the articulated bus. Let's introduce my guests first. Tim, you go first.
Yeah, my name is Tim Garling. I'm Division Director of Broward County Transit.
Harold Tech, Maintenance Manager for the Transit Division.
Okay, and we're gonna take we're gonna do a little bit outside, walk around the bus and talk about the bus a little bit, and the second segment we're gonna go inside. But let's talk about Broward County Transit in general. How many people work for Broward County the Transit Department?
About 950 people work for Broward County Transit. We provide in total all of our services almost 40 million rides a year to the people of Broward County. So it's one of the most productive transit systems in the entire state of Florida.
Oh, that is true. And what's the budget?
Our budget's around $120 million on the operating side, and then we have a relatively large capital budget, which generally is funded by the federal government through various grants that we get. So the county responsibility is actually to help the system operate, and then we actually bring grants in to help buy vehicles like this.
How many buses do we have?
About 300 buses in our system.
And for we've talked about this on the commission during my 5.5 years on the commission about whether it's right size, wrong size. I know that King County, Washington, and King County on the West Coast has a bus system that we would like to emulate. Yeah. Do we have enough buses for a county this size?
Well, it depends on the market that we're serving. So right now, if you kind of look at the market that we have, we've got about 300 buses. We're able to serve people that really need the service right now. But in order to attract people who have cars right now and would want to use public transit, we would need more, right? And I think in the long term, I think we would like to see a significant number of additional buses so we can provide more and better service, particularly in commuting hours, particularly to speed up the system, to make it more attractive to everybody in the county.
Tell me what it's been like the past couple of years in Broward County Transit with the downturn in the economy as far as the budget goes, and conversely the ridership.
I think that it's always a struggle in these tough economic times, but I think Broward County Transit has handled it very, very well. We've got one of the most productive systems in the state of Florida. We do almost 40 rides per hour, so it shows that we're aligning the services that we have with the demand that we have in the most efficient way that we can. But we've had to face a few cutbacks, fare increases, a few cutbacks of service, which it's difficult on everybody. So our job really is, when we get the budget that we have and we can kind of live through these times, make the most productive service that we can and get the best service that we can put out there. Now, a silver lining is that we can actually use some of these capital monies that we get to try to make the service better, right? So, for example, the articulated bus we see here today, and we've got other plans of capital improvements that are going to make it better to ride, but won't really impact the operating costs.
What does that mean? What?
So, for example, one of the things that we're coming forward with right now is a project that we call real-time bus information. That's going to allow customers at every single one of our 4,500 bus stops to get a cell phone or a personal device and find out the exact time a bus is going to arrive. So it's those kind of things that we can do with our capital expenditures. Really don't cost us operating funds, but it makes it easier for our customers to use and more attractive to use. So we can do all those things even though we're facing the budget constraints. So we're not going to let the budget constraint keep us from providing the very, very best service we can.
I think some of the hardest meetings we've had as a county commissioner are the ones where we're cutting transit routes, and people come to these stories about how they have to. This is it for them. They don't have a backup car plan to get to and from work or to and from shopping or where at school. Those have been some of the hardest meetings. I think we've done a really good job with the constraints we've been under. How long have you been with Broward County?
Just a little over a year.
Yeah, where'd you come from?
I actually came from Pinellas County, from St. Petersburg, and before that I was from
Broward County willingly.
It came to Broward County because of its transit system and the potential of its transit system. I also worked in Portland, Oregon, which has one of the great transit systems in the country. Interesting thing, we provide the same number of rides per hour in Broward County as the bus system in Portland, Oregon, one of the really big systems in the country does. So there's great potential that we can leverage. And if you look at the future, public transit will work in Broward County. I'm completely confident of that. And you know, and there's always debate in Florida. Will public transit work? Public transit will work if we provide services that serve the public. Right? People will ride what serves them. That becomes our challenge. Do we have enough money? Do we have enough vehicles and things to provide that kind of service? And if we do, I'm confident we're going to get the ridership, which is important for the long term. If we want a livable, sustainable community in the long term, we've got to start making some choices. Our roads are congested, fuel prices are going up. Public transit has to be part of the future. For our children, our grandchildren, the future of this area, public transit has to play a role.
But in Broward County, is public, does that mean only buses?
Well, not necessarily, right? I think a bus is going to always be a backbone to carry the most people, but I think all forms of modes, and I always like to say the right tool for the job. You know, streetcars, light rail. I think as you look at the future of Broward County, a key is having the right land use, right? Having the right kind of mixed-use development, the right vision of our community, and using transit as an instrument of that vision. I think you can get those higher capacity premium transit services, and you can actually really move this county along in a way that's going to make it sustainable for the future.
So we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to take a walk around the bus, and we're going to let Harold talk. We'll be right back.